then it plants a seed for something good. So if you take a mango seed and you put it in the soil, only a mango tree can grow. If you take a lemon seed and put it in the soil, only a lemon tree can grow. So whatever your action is, that's going to be the result. You cannot plant a mango and get a lemon. The same thing with our actions. We cannot kill someone or something and then expect to be happy all the time.
Yes.
That must come back.
Mình gieo trên nào thì
Gặp quả đấy.
Mình gieo cái hạt của quả dưa hấu thì được cây dưa hấu, gieo hạt chanh thì được cây
Đừng có ăn cây táo gạo, cây sung đấy.
gieo cái hạt dưa hấu mà lại được
Và
cây
có thể
chanh.
là kết quả của cuộc đời mình là tất cả
Do mình, hành động của mình đúng không? Yes.
Okay? So
Thank you.
that's the law of karma. That's all we need to understand about the law of karma. There is more. We can classify karma into 16 different kinds. But that's not necessary to have the right view. To have the right view, you just need to know. Karma is intentional action. It's unwholesome, wholesome. Unwholesome takes you off the path of Nibbana. Wholesome keeps you on the path of Nibbana. And that's it. That's the law of karma.
Thể tổng kết lại thôi, tức là cái right view mình chỉ cần nhớ nó là cái nghiệp của mình tạo ra.
Yes.
Mà nghiệp xấu hay nghiệp tốt thì là do mình, kết quả.
Có rất nhiều loại tăng ma, có 60 loại nghiệp.
Đúng rồi.
Nhưng mà
chỉ cần nhớ
đại khái là cái loại right view này thì có cái hai cái
quan trọng nhất.
So if something bad happens in your life, you understand that sometime in your past you made the decision to do something unwholesome. And so now you're getting the result of that action. Some people, when bad things happen to them, they say, "Oh, I'm a good person. Why is this happening to me?" It's happening to you because sometime in the past you did something unwholesome. Even the Buddha, who we could say, I think every religion could say was a very good person. He did nothing wrong as a Buddha. He still had back pain. He still got hungry. He still got bitten by mosquitoes. We have even in the record he got food poisoning. This is because of actions before he became the Buddha. These are unwholesome actions before he became the Buddha.
So thầy muốn nói là ví dụ như là cái người sống với hiện tại này thì mọi người cũng nghĩ là người đấy là người tốt đấy, nhưng tại sao những cái điều xấu lại xảy ra với họ? Nhưng theo quan điểm Phật giáo thì ra là họ đã gieo nghiệp từ cái quá khứ hay là kiếp trước ấy.
So the supramundane,
cái từ đấy chưa học, chưa từng nghe,
is the right view of the Four Noble Truths. So it's a little bit circular. Yeah? This is inside this, and if you understand this, then you understand that. So to have the right view of the Four Noble Truths, but not just intellectually, but in your heart. To understand that everything is dukkha. To understand that the reason that there's dukkha is because of craving. To understand that there's a cessation, and then the path itself. So we can say that in the beginning, because you see it comes at the beginning of the path, we have intellectual understanding, but when you do this perfectly and become awakened, then you have the deep understanding. These two come down to the bottom as the result of morality concentration. Okay? Any questions about right view? There are, incidentally, 62 wrong views. 62 wrong views. And we're not going to go into it, but the basis of most of them, the basis of most of the wrong views are self, or a soul, I. That's the basis of it. There's actually one.
Yes.
Now, the Buddha came 600 years before, 500, 600 years before Jesus. He came almost 1,000 years before Muhammad. And yet, one of the wrong views, the Buddha talks, I don't know if you're going to catch this. The Buddha talks about the cycle of life. The universe, all the stars and the planet expand. He said this 2,600 years ago, before we talked about the universe expanding. It also contracts. Expand, contracts, expand, contract. How many times we don't know. In one of the contractions, when everything comes down to a fine little teeny tiny point, all living beings are born in a special realm, in a special world. When the karma for living in that world finishes for one being, he is born in another world. Okay? And he lives in this world by himself or herself for a long, 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 long time.
Yes.
And says, wow, I wish there was somebody else here with me. At that time, in this other world, the karma for another being is over, and they're reborn in this world as well, and then another and another and another. The first one who was there forgets that he was born in this world because it's so long. Our lives are very short, but do you remember your birth? So same with him. He does not remember his birth. He thinks he's there all the time. Since he was the first, he said, oh, I wanted you to come, and now you're here. And they said, you were here for such a long time. You wanted us to come, and now we're here. Does this story sound similar? Think about the Christian creation story. Exactly. The first being says, hey, I've been here forever. I created you. I'm the Lord your God. And they say, oh, you were here before us. You asked us to be here, and now here we are. You're the Lord our God. But actually, there is no creator God in Buddhism. It's just beings who keep being reborn and reborn and reborn over and over. But because of delusion, not understanding the truth, the first one thinks he's God, and all the others think he's God.
Đại ý là ví dụ như là thầy đang nói về cái vòng luân hồi sinh tử ấy, một người sinh ra và cứ nghĩ là mình là người đầu tiên, nhưng thực ra là không phải, bởi vì là có rất nhiều tiền kiếp trước đấy rồi và mong muốn những người khác đến với mình ấy. Thì cái điều này thì cũng có thể là liên tưởng tới cái truyền thống của Kitô giáo ấy. Thế nhưng mà cái Phật giáo thì khác Kitô giáo chỗ là không có Thiên Chúa, mà chỉ là do quá trình reborn, tức là tái sinh đi tái sinh lại thôi. Và tất cả mà người ta lại không nhận thức được cái điều đấy thì thầy gọi là delusion, tức là not understand the truth.
So there's a nice comparison that even before these religions became what they are, and even then, Judaism was not the same as it is now. Judaism is not the same as it is now. Hinduism is not the same as it is now. They've evolved into somewhat different religions. At the time of the Buddha, Hindus, or Brahmins they were called, could eat meat. Now they don't eat meat. At the time of the Buddha, they had other gods. In Judaism there were other gods, but now there's only the one God. So it's evolved. Their religions have evolved. Buddhism hasn't changed from the very beginning. This is the same as it was when the Buddha taught.
Các tôn giáo, ví dụ như là Do Thái giáo hay Ấn Độ giáo, thì nó cũng cả là Bà La Môn giáo, thì nó cũng có sự tiến hóa ấy. Trước là như là có sau hình thành các vị thần, thế nhưng mà đối với Phật giáo thì không thay đổi, không thay đổi.
Vì là người ta thờ thần nên thay đổi, còn Phật giáo không có thờ ai cả. Đấy. Còn trong cái tiến trình nó luôn nó thay đổi. Ví dụ Do Thái trước đây là thờ nhiều thần hơn, nhưng sau này nó mới thờ có một thần sau. Ví dụ như vậy.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move along. The next one is right intention. And there are 3 right intentions. The first one is renunciation. This means Sutza, become a monk. Give up everything. Okay, the second one is non-ill will, or we can say non-hatred. But ill will means to have bad intentions. In this case, will means intention. So to have non-bad intentions, not just hatred. And the last one is non-violence.
Phi bạo lực là cái đầu tiên nó liên quan đến cái ý chí, đúng không? Ý chí tức là không để cho cái ý chí của mình nó ốm yếu, nó bệnh, không bệnh, không ốm yếu, không bệnh được, rồi là không bạo lực. Cái ý chí của mình, ý chí đó, nói về cái world.
So we can ask, well, how can a lay person, a person who is not a monk or a nun, how can they practice? By renunciation, we try to control our greed. We can try to control our greed. So, for example, you have 10 pairs of shoes in your closet, and you see another pair, but you don't need to. You go to the store and you see another pair, but you don't need to buy. You already have 10 pairs. So, pure renunciation, you don't buy.
Mình tu mình diệt cái tham lam của mình. Dụ mình có mấy đôi giày là mình vẫn nên mua thêm nữa, tức là mình tự diệt cái lòng tham.
But if you decide to buy, at least you understand why you're buying. Oh, I'm buying it. I don't need these. I buy them because I want them, because greed. At least you understand.
Mình vẫn mua, tức là vì thỏa mãn cái lòng tham của mình.
In a sense, that's a kind of wisdom. Understanding your intentions is a kind of wisdom. It doesn't change the karma. Your understanding of it doesn't change the karma. If you buy the shoes because you're greedy, even if you understand that, you're still greedy in buying the shoes. But at least you understand. That's the important thing. So for this is to control
mình
greed.
đã hiểu được cái đấy là cái hành động tham lam, không mua nó nữa nó sẽ cải nghiệp cho mình.
Gọi là buông bỏ dần đấy.
This one is to control the thoughts. And this one is non-violence, is to control the action.
Mình tu, mình triệt tiêu từ cái nghĩ xấu, xong đến làm xấu.
You can only do something bad if you have the thought to do something bad. You can only do something good if you have the thought to do something good. So we try as Buddhists, I think as human beings, to always try to do good. But the difference, I think, in like Buddhism and other religions is that you judge yourself. If you do something bad, your action is going to punish you, not someone from outside. In Christianity, you do something bad, God punishes you. Allah punishes you. Brahma punishes you. But in Buddhism, you're 100% the owner of your own actions.
Các Kitô giáo hay các tôn giáo khác thì hành động xấu của mình là do cái Chúa hay do cái Phạm Thiên hay do cái người đứng về trên cái xử phạt mình. Nhưng mà với Phật giáo thì tự cái hành động của mình đó là kết quả nó phạt mình, không cần chờ đến một cái đấng tối cao nào cả.
So one of the things about this law of karma and these intentions of action, controlling your actions, is that every minute you are saying to yourself, you are making a decision. You are saying, I want to be happy. Or I want pain. Every minute you are saying this to yourself. And every minute you are giving this to yourself. When you do something wholesome, let's say donate money to the dogs, to feed the dog, then you're saying, oh, I want to be happy. If you want to kick somebody, then you are saying to yourself, oh, I want to feel pain later on. We are making this decision every moment. Wholesome karma, unwholesome karma, wholesome karma, unwholesome karma. But that's what it means. I want to be happy, so do good things. Easy. If you want pain, then do bad things. You are making that choice every moment. No one else is. You do that. You do that. Sorry, I'm preaching, but okay, so questions about right intention? So now we have the map, and here we have how we should kind of think about our actions. Then we come into our actions. And the first one is right speech. Okay, there are four kinds of speech that we should avoid. So abstain. Abstain means don't do, or stop yourself from doing. Abstain from lies. Lies out. B is abstain from slander. Slander means to talk behind someone's back, to talk about somebody behind their back. Actually, I wrote down what that means.
Nói xấu sau lưng. Nói dối, nói xấu.
So, yeah.
Nói xấu slander.
Không nói dối, không nói xấu. Okay, the next one is from harsh or abusive speech. So these are words that people don't like to hear, are angry. Vietnamese they call hứng còi, hò lố, thô lỗ, vô lễ, ác độc, thoát mặt người. And then the last one is abstain from, I'm just going to write a blanket term, idle speech. Or we can say chit-chat, gossip. So, idle speech, chit-chat, gossip, in the very strictest sense, means anything that is not towards the relief of dukkha. So that means politics, food, sport, the weather, friends, anything that is not this going towards the relief of dukkha is considered idle speech. But that's very difficult to practice, even for monks.
Không nói đến vấn đề như kiểu về ham muốn cuộc sống phủ, thậm chí cả những cái thứ thể thao rồi ăn uống các thứ mình không bàn đến, mình cái vui thú khó đấy.
Yeah.
Thầy bảo là rất tu thì chỉ người tu hành mới làm được.
Người tu hành chưa có nhiều người làm được.
Thì thế khó lắm. Phải đến tận cái vui thú ở đời làm sao mà tránh mà không bàn đến được. Không tham gia đã là tốt rồi chứ còn lại bàn đến.
So, right speech and actually right action and right livelihood are also things that we should not do. Okay? So, you're not talking right now. That doesn't mean that you're practicing right speech. If you are going to say a lie, or slander, or harsh, or idle, if you're going to say something and you stop yourself, that's right speech. Okay? So, just not talking is not right speech. Okay? When you stop yourself from this, that's right speech. If you do have to talk, then you should always tell the truth. You should always use speech that is empowering. Speech that builds up somebody, does not take them down. We should use pleasant speech.
Khích lệ người khác, chứ đừng để cho người ta thất vọng. Chỉ có nói những mấy lời chân thành và nó khích lệ người khác. Để cho người ta vui lên.
Standard là gì?
And it should be meaningful.
Điều có ý nghĩa.